Autumn in South Korea, and families gather along the northern border to make offerings to ancestors whose graves they haven't visited for nearly 3 generations, and, given the current state of affairs, don't expect to see again in their lifetime.
If you cross straight over, that's my father's hometown. That's where my grandparents are.
Ri Jae-hong tosses a cup of wine towards his father's hometown of Yeonbaek. It's now part of North Korea, just 2 kilometers away, but it might as well be on the moon. Jae-hong's father fled south during the Korean War. Soon after, a tense armistice sealed the border in 1953. Situated at the mouth of the Han River, Gyeorang Island welcomed thousands of refugees like Minok Sun at the war's end.
On they trudge, North Koreans choosing to become homeless wanderers rather than slaves to a regime which threatens to engulf the entire Asiatic world. Every form of transport becomes an evacuation express to a southern destination. Each weary mile south brings its obstacles, and
more than 1.5 million people fled to the south during the war. Few knew they'd never be able to return.
My parents' graves are only about 6 kilometers away. 6 kilometers, that's barely 10 minutes by car. Can there be a sadness deeper than this?
For decades, they waited for reunification between North and South Korea, or at least détente, anything to see their families. Today, 72 years later, telescopes on the island's north are the only way they can glimpse their old hometowns.
We are a people with broken hearts. Even though we live in abundance today, my parents, my brothers and sisters all remained in North Korea.
The North calls the South a hostile state, and tensions between the two sides are worse than they've been in decades. Pyongyang recently shut down institutions dedicated to reunification and tore down transport links built in the 2000s when things were a little more hopeful. With little say in their fate and aging fast, refugees sing songs that remind them of
All I long for are my mother and father. I left my hometown at 17, fleeing the war, and I haven't seen them since. When I see others with their parents, I can't help but envy them, and tears are all that come.
When birds leave their nests under a roof, they always find their way back. That's called the homing instinct. And we humans also have this need to return home.
Like his wife, Kim still dreams of home. But for him, that longing has never faded into peace.
My wife can sleep peacefully under thick blankets and think, this is my resting place. But not me. Every day I fight inside as if I were still at war.
After years of safety and abundance in the South, the last generation to remember a unified Korea fades, singing the old songs before resting in graves just kilometers away from their ancestors, yet impossibly far from home. Devin, Tsai, and Bryn for TaiwanPlus.